Opal, Bus Riders Unite. And I wanted to talk about the fact that TriMet's strategy for dealing with the budget shortfall is falling so heavily on the shoulders of the most vulnerable people in our city. Think about this. Think about a single ticket fare of $2.50. Okay? Think about people who can't afford to buy a monthly pass because they can't get that together that much money. Think about what it means to do a single ticket round trip to go to the grocery store 3 times a week. And you can't go once a week and put it on the car because you're a completely bus-dependent person. Think about then, you've got to take your kids to the doctor once a week. Another time, you've got to go to social services. Another time, you're going to the laundromat. Okay? Add that all up. You go 3, 4, 5, 6 times a week. You know, that's $30 a week times $52. You're getting up on close to $2,000 a year. And you're talking about families who are low income, who are making the minimum wage. What kind of system are we putting into place in this city where we solve a budget problem on the backs of the poorest, most vulnerable people, the people who are bus-dependent, the people who live in low-income communities and who are people of color in our community? That is simply not acceptable. It's not fair. I also want to finish up by saying that as you've raised fares and as you've increased services, you've made it more and more difficult for people to do round trips for their everyday needs on a single ticket, and that has created a huge hardship. Every time you talk about this, I hear you talking about the fact that you don't want people using transfers for round trips, but that's what people need to do if they're going to be able to survive and use this bus service at all. And now that you've made the buses with the cuts, the trips are longer. So I want to urge you to consider putting back on the table, extending the transfers to 3 hours so that people can be able to meet their daily needs for short trips to the store, to the laundromat, or what they need for their kids, to be able to do that as a single ticket and restore value, especially for the poorest, most vulnerable people in our community. Thank you.